Hey everybody, McCabe here. I just wanted to encourage everyone who hasn't had a chance to complete the first couple of assignments. They're pretty short, they're pretty easy. If you're having troubles, shoot me an email and we'll try and get you sorted out as quickly as we can. And I really need to get some feedback, so if they're not complete and you haven't asked questions, I'm talking to you. Anyhow, just to recap what we did, we learned about major scales, which is basically just a group of notes that make up the sound do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And we use all of the musical alphabet notes from one letter to the next time that that letter repeats. So the only key that uses no sharps and flats, as we know, is C major, which is like that. And then we also know that if I go to the fifth letter, which is G, and write it out, that the seventh letter is going to sound wrong, so I add a sharp to it. And then if I go to the next letter in that scale, the next fifth letter, I'm going to need to bring that sharp with me and add a sharp to the seventh letter of the next one. And then if I go to the fifth letter of the next one, I need to bring those two sharps with me. And then what happens here is we keep adding a sharp every time until everything is a sharp. And then I just fill in all these sharps here. So the first assignment, I just asked you to write these out just like this. Add the sharp, add the sharp, add the sharp, and I think I had you stop at B, because when we get to B, our fifth is a sharp note, so we start on F sharp and go to F sharp, and then the last key, we start on C sharp and go to C sharp. Now the next thing we did was look at the fourth note of the scale, and when we start on F and we play those notes on the piano, we notice that the fourth note sounded too high, so we add a flat to that, and this is how we get our flat keys. So then if I write it out again, I go to that fourth note, I'm going to have to add a flat to this one. And then if I start on this fourth note, I'm going to need to bring the previous flats with me and add a flat to this one. So then we're going to need to add a flat to this one. And so forth until we get to C flat major. I'm going to do E flat here, or sorry, D flat, D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, D flat, and then we're going to go to G flat, and then lastly we're going to have C flat major, which is everything flat. So the reason why we need to know this is if we're playing music or writing music or making chords, if we want to start in the key of G flat to make do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, all of these notes have to be flat except for F. Or if we start on D and we want to make chords and melodies with that major scale sound, that do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do sound, which a lot of the music that we listen to is written in, we're going to need a sharp on the F and a sharp on the C. Otherwise, it won't sound like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. There may be other scales and tonalities that you may use, but the best one to learn first is, I believe strongly, the major scale. So that's why we started off with this. So this was your project for the first, I had you write the first handful of sharps based on that lesson, and then I had you write basically the first ones of flats according to the second lesson. And all you had to do was you could handwrite it and just take a picture of it, or you could do it in a text or a Word file and put it in the Dropbox. And that showed me that you understood how to raise the seventh note with a sharp or lower the fourth note with a flat in that series. So this review hopefully solidifies that learning for everyone. If anyone has any questions, please reach out and we can have a little discussion over email, or if you need to phone me and have a voice conversation, or if you still don't understand, we can maybe have a face-to-face conversation. Whatever we need to do to get you understanding this part. So the next thing that we did, and I'm just going to quickly review that, is we looked at a short project where we took a random key. So I don't remember what I picked. I think I picked a G. So this time let's pick A. So I pick A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A. So basically I just told you to pick 4 notes, and those were going to be your bass note. So they would last for 1 bar each. So this would be bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, bar 4. So let's say I pick B, F sharp, C sharp, C sharp, D. Why not? Okay, so I went B, F sharp, C sharp, D. So I went from the second note to the 6th note to the 3rd note to the 4th note. So I would put B for a whole note in bar 1, then F sharp for a whole note in bar 2, C sharp for a whole note in bar 3, and then D for a whole note in bar 4. And I would do this lower than C4 so it sounded like bass notes. And then the second step was to pick 2 notes. So I'm going to pick, let's pick F sharp and A. So I picked F sharp and A. So basically we were supposed to have these in 8th notes going back and forth over each of these tones. Now F sharp and A will sound pretty good over some of these tones, and it might not sound as good over some other tones. And in that case, let's say if I was listening to the B and I didn't like the sound of the A, well, I could go to the next one up in the scale and see if that sounded good, or I could go down to the next one lower in the scale and see if that sounded good. So I put that in the above each of these bass notes and listen and evaluate. Does that sound good, or is there some kind of clash going on there? And that was your composition assignment 1, which for submissions, we still have quite a few outstanding. So hopefully, if you're one of the people that hasn't submitted yet and hasn't asked a question about it yet, hopefully this review answers all of your questions and you can complete it from here. It's really easy. You just put whole note in Audio Tool, whole note, whole note, whole note, and then put these 8th notes repeating over each, and then change the 8th notes to make it sound good. Okay, and that is composition assignment number one. Okay, and so the next a couple of assignments we're going to talk about are going to involve some new learning and some online quizzes and taking this composition, or you can redo the composition if you like. It really doesn't take that long. And the other thing is, when you're doing your baseline, if one of these doesn't sound good to your ears, then try a different note. So if you went B flat or B, F sharp, C sharp, and you didn't really like that, then just change it. Change it to D, change it to A, change it to E. It really doesn't matter. Whatever four notes you pick, as long as it sounds good to you. If it doesn't sound good to you, change it until it does. Just make sure that whatever key you pick, you're only selecting notes in that key, because we want a major sound. We want a major scale sound for this assignment. And hopefully you'll be able to complete assignment 1 and assignment 2 and hand that in, and hopefully that you understand that, and hopefully you'll be able to punch these into Audio Tool and complete that composition. It's very short. It shouldn't really take you any more than 10 minutes to do. And like I said, if you have any questions, just shoot me an email and we'll sort you out. Okay, so I'm going to sign off for now, and I'm going to get on to some new learning. I was really hoping to have more submissions to see where you guys are at with this before we pressed on, but we're going to have to press on. Okay, talk to you soon.